All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about three really powerful, simple truths to hang on to when things get tough. This isn't about some complicated fix. It's about getting back to basics, reminders that can totally shift your perspective.
You know that feeling, right? Where you just feel completely stuck, like you're in this moment or this problem and it feels like it's just never gonna end. It's a heavy feeling, and honestly, we've all been there.
But what if there was a simple way to think about it? A framework, really, that's built around just three core ideas that can act like your anchor when things feel chaotic.
And look, these aren't tricky pieces of advice. They're just truths. Something solid you can stand on when everything else feels like it's shifting under your feet.
So, our first truth. This one is a biggie. It's about the very nature of how things work. In fact, it's probably the only constant we can actually count on.
Just let that one sink in for a second. Notice how certain those words are. It doesn't say might change or could change. It's emphatic. Everything can and everything will change. And that includes whatever difficult thing you might be facing right now.
And what's so cool here is how this breaks down that promise. The moment you're in right now, no matter how tough it is temporary. And because of that, because it's temporary, the future is still unwritten. One fact makes the other possible.
Okay, let's move on to the second truth. This one deals with something we all tend to fear, sometimes more than anything else. It's all about completely reframing what it means to fail.
Man, this is such a powerful way to look at it. So often we see failure as the end of the road, right? A full stop. But this idea flips that completely on its head. It's not a destination, it's the starting line for whatever comes next.
And this shows us how to actually use that idea. It's a simple three-step process. First, you just acknowledge what happened. No judgment. Then, you look for the lesson. What did I actually learn from this? And finally, you take that lesson and you start again. It turns something painful into fuel.
And that leads us to our third and final truth. Now, this one isn't about looking to the future or learning from the past. It's about an active choice, something you can do right here, right now. I love that repetition. Always, always. It feels so intentional, It's designed to cut through all the noise when things are hard, that voice that tells you there's nothing good left. It's insisting that no matter what, there is something to be grateful for. And that source of gratitude doesn't have to be some huge, life-changing event. Most of the time, it's the simple stuff. A moment of quiet in a crazy day. The warmth of the sun on your skin. That one song that always makes you feel better. These are the small things that can keep you steady.
So as we bring this all together, it becomes really clear these aren't just passive, feel-good phrases you put on a poster. They're active. They are practical tools. They're like different lenses you can choose to look through to completely change how you see your reality.
So here's the bottom line. Change is a promise. It gives you hope. Failure is a teacher. It gives you wisdom. And gratitude is a choice. It grounds you in the present. Each one gives you back a little bit of power, especially when you feel like you have none.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. You don't have to try and master all three of these at once. Just pick one. Which one of these truths really speaks to you right now? Which is the one you can hold on to and carry with you starting today?